apart from the footballing side of football, this is one of the aspects of football, one of the period of football, one of the things about football that I love so much. Transfer window. See, the January transfer window has officially opened. The winter transfer window 2025 has officially opened. And if you play FCM, football managers, a master league, you kind of understand the feeling. The transfer buzz, the dopamine you get from this transfer, seeing players your teams are linked with. You get me? And I enjoy the whole transfer this thing. And this video will be talking about Fikayo Tomori, Nkunku, Dani Olmo. We have seen Dani Olmo's situation at Barcelona. There are a lot of talks about him. I think that's the biggest talk in the market currently. And we'll talk about a lot of some outgoings about Chelsea and some transfer we'll be looking to make in the January or maybe in the summer. But yeah, so first of all, welcome back to the channel. This is Papi Knows Football. First of all, like the video. 20 likes will go a very long way into telling the algorithm by doing something right here. And at the end of the video, you like what I'm doing here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So yeah, let's dive into it. Fikayo Tomori. If you are a Chelsea fan, depends on when you started to support Chelsea, but if you remember the season before the season we won the Champions League around 2020, the season we got the transfer ban that we couldn't sign players. We graduated a lot of our youth teams like James, Livramento, Mason Mount, a lot of them, like we could name them, Tammy Abraham, and Fikayo Tomori was one of the players that were promoted. Obviously, the following summer we are relieved of our transfer ban, and we went and signed players, and some of these players were sold. And Fikayo Tomori was one of them. He was a very, very good centre back at Milan, and there have been talks of him leaving Milan. But yeah, so reports have said that Fikayo Tomori has been offered to Chelsea, and the Blues would only welcome him back if Axel Disasi were to leave this month. Meanwhile, Juventus are keen and are pressing to sign him. So yeah, Fikayo Tomori is going to leave if Chelsea signs Axel Disasi, which I think is very, very good. Fikayo Tomori is a Coban blood through and through. 27 years. I think he has a lot of experience. He's a Chelsea fan. He's a player that knows what it means to represent this club. You get me? And I would love to have him back at the team. Definitely. He went to Italy, and he has won the league there. He's 27 years currently now. He's Olai not set. Yeah, if you remember Olai, when he was at Chelsea, this is his Fikayo Tomori was his set. You get me? So yeah, there are talks of him returning to the Premier League, but we just have to see what happens. I'll take him in a heartbeat, because if you watch our defense need improving, and Fikayo Tomori will be a very, very big improvement as a central defender. But we'll just have to see what goes. But some reports have said that Chelsea are not interested in a profile of Fikayo Tomori, which I'm like, all of them are transfer. You get me? So let's move on. John Obi Mikel, the Chelsea legend. A man that needs no introduction, a man that drives a lot of opinion. You get me? A lot of people disrespect him. I actually respect him. He's a Chelsea legend and a Super Eagles legend. And when it comes to Chelsea or in Chelsea info, things that are happening around Chelsea, I think Mikel Obi is currently the go-to guy right now, because bro, he talk even if a lot of people don't like him, but you have to tune in and hear what he says. You get me? You could see Egbali recently invited him to the Stamford Bridge, and he has talked with Paul Winstanley and Roland Stewart, and he has this very good connection with the club. He has infos around the club, and he have said in his podcast, the Obi-Wan podcast, he said in the summer, I think we might see a striker, goalkeeper, maybe another midfielder and defender. Obviously, all these areas need improving. I think the Conference League kind of made us think we had a very, very good squad depth. We don't really have very, very good squad depth. I think we have a nice first team, and we have some players who can come in, but the squad depth is not there. Like the midfield, for example, Enzo and Caicedo, nobody else. They are like the level drops drastically if you want to pick anybody else there. And it looks like we don't have a DM, and Romeo Lavia cannot be relied upon because he goes injured off on and on. He has currently injured, and we don't even know when he's going to return. So I'm expecting to sign midfielder. But this is in this is in the summer. Yeah. So let's move on to Christopher Nkunku. Like Christopher Nkunku, this season there were a lot of reports of him being unhappy at Chelsea, and him not being happy with the minutes he's getting, and there have been links linking him away from Chelsea. Manchester United was there. What other link? I talked about Barcelona links, which has actually more reports has come on it. You get me, with the whole Dani Olmo situation. But yeah, Chelsea are saying that reports say that Chelsea wants to keep Christopher Nkunku despite growing interest from abroad. Actually, PSG equally wants him as well, and and according to Fabrizio, still on this Nkunku, he said that Christopher Nkunku is a player the whole Chelsea board supports, and the whole Chelsea board sees him as a long-term plan and stuff. But if a swap deal, or someone comes in and pays his value, or the player says he wants to leave, Chelsea will not stand in his way. You get me? And if you heard Fabrizio said swapping, and that's why we should look out for someone like Kolomwani, because PSG wants to move him, and PSG will be interested in having their academy boy back in Christopher Nkunku to return back at the club. And in as much as the L'Equipe has actually informed that Chelsea are not one of the club interested in signing Kolomwani, we just have to see what what happens in that situation. You get me? But Nkunku has been linked to Barca because according to Cut Offside, Barcelona could make a loan move for Chelsea Christopher Nkunku if they fail to register Olmo for the second half of the season. Actually, if you get on the whole Dani Olmo issue, but yeah, he's been linked to Barcelona, and this is not the first time. His agent is the same agent of Barcelona coach, the same agent of Lewandowski's coach. So yeah, you understand. And I think his agent is still the same agent of Jonathan Tah. So it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. But one thing I know that will not happen is that Chelsea will not like to send him on loan. If Nkunku has to leave, he has to be permanent or a swap deal. You get me? They should give us Yama and take. Give us Yama and take him. So I'm just joking. So yeah, you have to be a swap deal. But I don't think Barcelona have a player they will give us. They actually need players right now. So yeah, he has to be coming on a swap deal. Chelsea will not send him on a loan because actually, as much as it doesn't, he's been played out of position and he doesn't look happy playing. He has to be there in case anything happens. He has to step up in case injury for Jackson or something like that. And there are links to Nkunku linking him to Arsenal as well. I'm telling you, according to Cut Offside, actually, I'm telling you, he's not going to Arsenal. There is no way possible. He's not going to Arsenal. Chelsea will not sell Nkunku to one of our direct competitors in the top four. Chelsea won't sell him to Arsenal to go help Arsenal out, win the league this season. Will not do that. Get me? And secondly, Arteta likes players that can run up and down the pitch. And Christopher Nkunku is not that type of player. He's a lazy player. So I don't see that happening. It looks almost impossible. And Arsenal fans don't want to buy any player from Chelsea again. They are tired of the one we have sold to them. But yeah, like I said, Dani Olmo, the situation of Dani Olmo, there are reports that Barcelona could not register him for the second half of the season. Obviously, I think they registered him temporarily for the first half of the season, but in the second half of the season, I think they are breaching the FFP or something like that. And the La Liga court has actually rejected, or the FA, I don't know, the second two bids of two proposals of Barca trying to register Dani Olmo, which have failed. And I think they have given him a deadline, which is today. By come end of today, they're done to register Dani Olmo. I think he's free to leave on a free transfer, and that has a lot of clubs sniffing around. According to Mundo Deportivo, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham has joined Manchester United and Manchester City in showing interest in signing Dani Olmo from Barcelona. Yeah, so it's and it's going to be very very bad for Barcelona because one, they have to pay the transfer fee for him, and they have to pay him. I think he's on 4 years or 5 years contract. They have to pay him the whole salary in that contract. And for a team that is bankrupt, they are bankrupt, and that's why they couldn't even register him in the first place. So they are bankrupt. As a team that is bankrupt, this is going to take a toll on their transfer, on their finance. They already have financial problem, and you just kind of spend almost 100 million on a player that didn't even play for your player that played 6 months for you. That's like a 6 months when I pay 90 something million. That's crazy. Then that's very 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 crazy. You get me? So yeah, the players are sniffing around. And one thing I like about Dani Olmo, we are linked with him in the summer, but we didn't go in because we feel like we had players who he left. I think he's a left winger. We have a right-footed left winger, something like that. And another thing was the price. We felt like we were covered there, and we don't see any need adding Dani Olmo. And one thing I like about him is he's very very versatile. He can play as an attacking mid, left winger, right winger, central midfielder. He could do some good job as the number 9. Obviously, he's not the number 9, but I think he can play there. But he's not the number 9 actually. So he's very very versatile, and that's one thing I like about him. You get me? So we just have to see what happens there. But a player we should be looking at is Ken Andrews-Hall, because according to Sky Sports, Ken Andrews-Hall is an interesting one to watch, given he has not started a Premier League game since signing in the summer from Leicester. Ken Andrews-Hall is the most useless signing we made in the summer, hands down. Selling Ken Andrews-Hall for and make it as in selling Gallagher for Ken Andrews-Hall to come in still doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to make it even when we sign it, because these two players are two different type of players. Ken Andrews-Hall is a creative midfielder. Gallagher is more of a defensive / DM. You get me? They are two separate midfielders. They don't even play the same kind of thing. And Ken Andrews-Hall is just so guy. We have a lot of players in his position. Kopama, Joao Felix, Nkunku can play there. Chukwuemeka. So a lot of players is playing there. So I don't really see him starting. He has come in as a sub few times this season in the club. He has come in as a sub. You get me? And according to Sky Sports, Chelsea are not expected to do much this summer unless players like Cowell, Ben Chilwell, who is been frozen out, and Chukwuemeka and Nkunku, speculation around Nkunku and Disasi. Juventus wants Disasi, Bayer Leverkusen wants Disasi because they are losing Jonathan Tah, who's not going to be extending his contract this season, beyond this season. So he's going to be living on a free, maybe to Barcelona. There are talks of him going to Barcelona. So Bayer Leverkusen will be looking for a replacement, and Disasi looks like a perfect replacement. Juventus as well. He was linked with Newcastle. We have to. I'm just happy their teams coming in for him. We just need to sell him. Then Nkunku, it is what it is. But if players move, trust me, Chelsea will make move on this window, and we're going to sign players. Especially if Nkunku move. I want to see what Chelsea will do if Nkunku move. With the report of Leon Delap, we have been linked with Leon Delap for a while now. You get me? So yeah, that's the video here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You go be.